I'm Boyce Lloyd, the CEO of KWV. I'm in one of my favorite places at the moment, our Vinotech. In here, we've got some of the proudest history and wines going back 80, 90 years. It is just fantastic to walk around here, and I actually get goosebumps when I am in this room. It's one of my special places on earth. KWV is a company that started more than 100 years ago in 1918. It was born out of a need from the farmers to stand together and collectively develop the wine industry in South Africa. In the 1930s and 40s, KWV started to play very much a technical role in the development and the guidance of wine in South Africa. From a viticulturist perspective, technical skills, assessments, classifications, this is the service that we delivered to South Africa. And in the 60s and 70s, we started to take our place in the commercial functioning of the wine market in South Africa, specifically through exports. So the first 50 years was very much a service to the wine industry in South Africa, looking after the wine development and the industry development in South Africa, whereas the next 50 years was focused on the commercialization and assisting with the commercialization of the industry in South Africa. And it's also where our history, our proud history with Kukubu starts, where we've got a 100-year history of at least half of that is with some customers that we've got a history going back many, many decades. And Kukubu and our proud history with the Kubus is one of those. One of the advantages that we've got from a KWV perspective is the fact that we don't own our own vineyards, but we've got more than 50 growers from whom we contract and we get our grapes from them. That allows us to really mix and match on an annual basis. If you're in one specific area or geography, you are subject to the outcome of that harvest and that specific weather patterns that happen there in that year. So sometimes it may not be optimal for a certain area, but other years it could be much better in another area. And that's where we are able to mix and match and provide an optimal wine outcome for our customers. One of the things that really makes us so strong is that all these years, or so many years, we were focused on developing the technical skills of the wine industry. And it's one of the heritage factors that we inherited, where we've got a very proud team, we've got a very specialized team that only delivers the best. And it's one thing that you can always be assured of, is that KWV will deliver consistent quality year after year. And we appreciate your business, and it's fantastic to know that we've got such a strong partner and route to market partner in a very important market for us.
Welcome to the Cathedral Cellar, the historic and most beautiful cathedral cellar here in Paarl at KWV in the Western Cape. My name is Marco Ventrella. I'm the Chief Viticulturist of KWV, and I'm here today to speak to you a little bit about sustainability, our sustainability approach, and give you some of the highlights, I suppose, of our sustainability programs. For KWV, we have three basic pillars of sustainability. We start with people, ethics, and environment. And when we speak about people, it's really largely driven by our corporate social investment programs. And we talk a lot about creating sustainable citizens and supporting them through the life cycle. So we've got programs that cater for infants and children, youth, and adults. So, for example, with children, there are schooling programs, there are feeding programs. Being South Africa, being that we're in a country that has a lot of poverty, a lot of unemployment, and really quite a lot of inequality, it really is very important for us to address some of these things. And so something as simple as nutrition and feeding programs and nutrition in schooling is critically important. So in infant, we're talking about nutrition, we're talking about early childhood development programs that we support, and as well as the Good Hope Childcare Center, daycare. In the youth, we have programs that look at preventing school dropout, helping children to stay in school, helping with guidance and career advice, helping with development of young entrepreneurs and mentorship and then all the way through to adult, where we have the Athlone House of Safety, for example, where we've got a lot of gender-based violence in South Africa, and the Athlone House of Safety is a safe space for women and children, and where they can flee to, and where they can sort of reset their lives. But even in lockdown, we partnered with a local chef to provide really great food on Fridays at the Athlone House, and just cheer people up a little bit. When we speak about ethical, the second pillar, first off, it's about being an ethical corporate citizen as KWV, as the company, in terms of how we behave. But along with that, we are VITA certified, and every single grower that we buy grapes from, every single wine producer that we buy bulk wine from, right the way down the line, is ethically accredited. What does that mean? It means that there are good labor practices, that people are paid fairly, that there are safe working conditions, that they have freedom of association. These things are audited. These are audited very, very clearly and with very clear traceabilities all the way through. So really every product from KWV is ethically accredited under this, as well as KWV ourselves. Then we get into the environmental pillar. Now, there are quite a few initiatives we have in terms of the environmental, but as the viticulturist, I suppose I have to speak from the farming point of view first. And for both farming as well as the activities in the wine cellar, we have a system in South Africa called IPW, the Integrated Production of Wine System. It covers everything, not just herbicide and pesticide programs and fertilizer use and water use. Yes, it covers those too, but absolutely every aspect of farming, from the decision to plant, to how it's done, to what kind of tillage you should be doing, and it's all absolutely science-backed. It is also the only sustainability system of its kind in the world that is regulated. So South Africa is the only country where the sustainability program is regulated by law and is required in order for you to get your certification under the wine of origin scheme. And I've got some bottle right next to me here. So these little stickers you see at the back that say certified sustainable integrity and sustainability, as well as traceability, are all part of that scheme. And in 2014, research was published which looked at 5 countries of these programs, the US, Australia, New Zealand, and Chile. And one of the key takeouts was that the IPW system was the strictest and most complex and most strict auditing of all of these systems in the world. So it is really something we're very proud of in South Africa, and it has huge and broad acceptance. So it really is, it's absolutely all-encompassing. Irrigation, fertilization, tillage. We have the oldest soils on the planet viticulturally by 100 times, more than 100 times older. So our soils are extremely fragile, our structures are extremely fragile. So we have to use no tillage or low tillage, which means that a lot of the sort of European and American and Australian options are not open to us because we would be behaving in a destructive manner. So that's the environment. We really do take care of the environment. The IPW system also incorporates biodiversity and ensuring biodiversity, protecting wetlands, river areas, alien species removal, replanting with natural fynbos species. We actively remove alien invasive species, and we plant back also to speckboom, which is a succulent native to the area, and incidentally one of the greatest carbon fixers there are. It's incredibly powerful as a carbon fixer, and it grows really well, and it's hardy, and it's from here, and it's water wise, because we also have to be very mindful with water use. Which brings me into the winery with IPW. Covers additives, how you work with water, how much. But some of the things we're doing in the winery is, for example, our skins and stems and stalks, all of this becomes composted. So we've got people that take it away, and that becomes compost for use in gardens. So we try to be positive in the way that we operate. We're constantly trying to improve water use as well as energy use. So these are measured. We have recently put up a solar plant here in our Paarl operations, and we plan more for the future. We also are founder members and part owners of the Glass Recycling Company of South Africa. So we're very much into recycling glass and ensuring that our glass suppliers are using a percentage of recycled glass. All of our carton packaging, outer carton packaging, is done with the approval of the Forestry Stewardship Council. So making sure that the paper is from a sustainable source, that there's a percentage of recycled as well as what they call virgin paper or virgin pulp in there. So those are some of the ways and some of the programs. There are more, and for details on these things, again, please feel free to contact your KWV sales contact. For IPW information, it's ipw.co.za, and their full guidebooks and the coding and everything is available there. Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for listening to a story about sustainability. Without it, we have no future, and that's very much our approach, is we have to take care of our environment, we have to take care of our people, and we have to do it in an ethical way, and in a way that where we are good stewards and good corporate citizens. Thank you. Those who don't know me, I'm Marco Ventrella. I'm the Chief Viticulturist. I've got to tell you, I'm ready to nail my colors to the mast and say that I think this vintage is going to be one for the books. It's going to rival 09 and 15 and 17 as some of the best vintages in recent memory. It's been very, very cool vintage. So here's some crib notes for all you guys. It's been a very cool vintage. The whole growing season has been cool. We've had lots of rain, bit of disease pressure. But our guys really handled that very, very well. So winemaking 101 for white grapes. If it comes in, we typically will separate the juice from the skins quite quickly. We might give an hour or 3 hours of skin contact, but then we will press it off, take the clarified juice and go and ferment that. Whereas with red grapes, it goes into the fermentation vessel whole with the berries and the skins and the seeds, and we ferment it all like that because we want to extract all that color, all that tannin, all those flavors that are in the skins for the red wine. But so that's very simplified winemaking. Yeah, from all of us guys, you know, we appreciate you, and we appreciate your efforts, and just remember that we're right behind you at all times. With a drink, I want to toast you guys and say here's to a great vintage, and here's to a great year, and good luck to us all. Cheers.